Hello everyone, Sandra here. This is Amazon bucket time. I'm cutting in early. I'm probably a day or two early from my regular check-in because if you watched all the way to the end of my last video, I came back a couple days after the feeding and gave these worms some roommates, quite a few actually. What I estimate, sorry about the blur when I moved the bubble wrap there. I estimated about a golf ball sized worth of a mini handful. And I don't know how many worms are in a golf ball, maybe 75, maybe 100. More worms than were in here. And it looks like a cocoon as well went in with the worms that I added. If you can see the cocoon right there by my thumb. Good. So I'll make sure that gets on the moisture side of this bucket system. Now, as I've told you before, I'm not used to running bucket systems. And for those of you who do, they are, in my opinion, a little bit harder to fluff. You know, you've got this material to move over, but moving over is still kind of in your way. So I'm going to gently lift this up. Can I do it? Yes. And move it over here. So I moved a lot of the material over. I've still got some of my Amazon tape here. So let's see if we can see where the new residents went. See a beautiful worm. Oh yes. Don't know whether you saw him, but what a beautiful worm right there. Trying to bolt. I also added a bit of moisture to this bin. Don't know whether you noticed that, how glistening that cardboard was, but I gave it a good soaking when I added those worms, just because I didn't want to, again, presume that the worms, by, tripling or quadrupling their population, that the worms would have every resource that they need in this bucket. So just to catch you up, if this is your first time looking at this Amazon bucket has the remnants of some organic soil. Normally I don't put soil in my bins, but most of it is worm castings from a cardboard box challenge that AJ's Green Topics did. And so I took the soil out of that planter, but there were worms living in that planter for the 4 months. Oh, there they are. They were down, way down the bottom, our new worms. There they are. So the soil contained worms, so by sitting it, untouched for 4 months, I actually kept it moist because I had a hunch, because there was worm castings in it, that there would be worms in it. And so I was right. But surprisingly, the Amazon box still had the tape intact, like it was an unmodified challenge. I did not modify the Amazon box at all. So I put the remnants of that box into this system, and I've also started adding new Amazon tape as I get deliveries, or we recycle boxes from old deliveries, and I'm just going to check to see what happens. And if you watch my last video, you'll see that the tape was starting to go transparent. I think I've traumatized these worms enough by me mixing them around and around on a merry-go-round. So I think what I will do is I will just give them a new piece of Amazon tape. There are the worms. So we're going to be seeing more worms in this system now, which is great. So I'm going to give them a new piece of Amazon tape, complete with this reinforced threading. That is what I'm most interested in, because I don't know about you, but I find it very difficult to peel that thread off in its entirety from my boxes before I put the boxes through the shredder. So what do you do with that reinforced tape? Do you, cut a whole bunch of good cardboard off to get rid of all that, those threads? Or, do you think your Amazon boxes still have these thread-like things on them when you put them into your shredder. That's what I'm curious about. All right, so I made another little mini pile of the Amazon tape. There we go. And so for this early feeding, on the menu today, there is a bottom of a leek. We had a little leek for dinner last night. And of course, still feeding our dog watermelon. So we have some watermelon, and I'll just put the leftover of the grit in there. And then if you hold, I'll just put the rest of the cardboard on top. Okay, so I've moved all the cardboard. I guess I should push some of this mixture over top of that watermelon before I just bury it under this cardboard. There we go. So we will see. We will see what the worms do now that they've got some roommates. We've got worm power going on in Amazon. All right, everybody, take care for now.